Zubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Week 6, Integrated Marketing Communication Strategies Theories will be discussed in this week. It's an integrated market communication class for the MBA and postgraduate program. The topics which we will cover this week is theory of communication. We discussed this last week, but we will continue in this week in this contest. Then we will study and go through what is cognitive awareness to purchase. Then we will study in this contest that when the customers are aware, so which IMC plan or strategy normally use, push or pull, and then when they decide on the strategy, then they decide on the communication, and then what is the promotional objective of that company. So we'll go through an example of a communication there of Coca-Cola. Example of Coca-Cola. That's the objective of the lecture this week. Now we will be having a brief reminder or sort of discussion from the last week, that the things, the objectives should come in your mind related to the last week. So the last week we had a brief consumer marketing history, that how the consumer market appears and what was it before 1950s and what was it before after 1950, and then the companies was not focusing as that now they are focusing on the consumer behavior. So the consumer theories came in. The consumer theory is the main, there are so many, but the main four which is commonly used in the marketing planning and is Marshall economics theories. It's Alfred Marshall economics theory. We've gone through that. It's physiological theories. Physiological theories is traced back to Sigmund Freud, the Austrian founder of physicist. He believed that humans are not able to fully understand their own motivations, and there another according to the physiological theory, consumer respond to symbolic concern as much as they respond to the economic and the function. Then Pavlovian theory. This theory comes from the work of a Russian philosopher. His was his famous experience with the dog and the bell, that he concluded that much of the human behavior result from that one. Then we studied the ADA model, which is the cognitive model. Then we studied innovative adoption model, and this model has developed by Rugers in 1965. And then information process model. This model is very important. We will discuss that model particularly in detail when we get time. This is very important, Margaret, if you want to become a teacher or if you want to become a trainer. So this information process model is very important. This model tells you that once the intake in the human brain, when it stops, so what you have to do with that. Then we studied the information model and operational model, hierarchy of theories. So these were the studies from the previous slides, previous week lecture. This week we will be going through that what is basically the hierarchy of effect model and what is cognitive purchase in this contest. So if we look at this, what is cognitive purchase, this is the awareness model, or the cognitive awareness is the process of the brain through which through organizations or company take the consumer through different stages to inform them about the product or services and how they process the information they have been given. When an advertising information is given to you about Google or about Facebook or WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, so then they take you to different stages and process assess that how you process that information. It may involve the conversation of double about the doubts about the product or services in your any action. So the basic focus of that conversation, that conviction and purchases or cognitive awareness of purchase is focus on the actions. This, if you see the hierarchy here in the slide, it's cognitive behavior, cognition to think, affect to feel, and cognitive behavior to awareness. So from this model, these are hierarchy, ADA model, information model, all these models do the same thing, bring you to the awareness, then knowledge, liking, preference, convention, and then the third stage, they observe you. What is their marketing objective? To make the consumer aware, give them information, ensure that the consumer like the product, if not, understand why and fix the issues. Preference, make consumer focus on the product. Conviction, create the desire to purchase, and then purchase or make the consumer purchase or make the consumer in the decision process. So that is the cognitive aware. It may involve the conversation of doubts about the product or services into action. So that's mean converting your doubt. Doubt is always where the consumer or the customer make a doubt or say, oh no, this is not. That is the point of sales. So in these stages, advertising or the organization must attempt to convince potential consumer that they need a product or services. That's how the mainstream thinking of cognitive awareness to purchase. Now there is an opponent side of that one as well, which is called critical. I ask you so many times that think critical or analyze critically. So critique mean like this is that that the advertising or the organization should attempt to convince potential customer that they need a product or services, or possibly by offering a test drive or sample item. So this is the question where you arise as a critical thinker, that then they need a product or service. So why should a customer realize that they need a service, or actually indeed or in fact customer need their service or product, or that is the organizations or the company or the advertising make them to think. So this is the critical prospect of this cognitive purchase. So if you think critically, you will raise question on that. Why awareness? Why are you interested to send the awareness? As in the previous assignment, I asked you to do that why awareness is they are providing knowledge. So on the critical aspects of that, you should have think why they are providing knowledge. Is that necessary? So this is the critical aspect of that. But if you start answering that they are providing knowledge, so this is the mainstream thinking, but still you can ask the question in that what sort of knowledge we need, what type of knowledge we need, is that all knowledge necessary in the mainstream thinking? So you can think on that one. Now so if we look into the another slide, these are the models which we discussed last week, but this is a relevance with the cognitive purchase. As in the previous slide we discussed the objectives, the consumer behavior hierarchy model, liking, disliking, and the objective. And in this model is the same. If we see ADA model is attention first, then hierarchy model has awareness, then the innovation model have awareness, then Dagmar model has awareness, and the three stages continuously says that these models or advertising or communication made on these model or is just put you into the cognitive process as a consumer. Then it makes you to effect, it take you to all the 6 stages of communication, 6 stages of the model, and then this make you feel about the product. And then the cognitive effect again start, it make you purchase. So it is assumed that learning cognitive effects must occur before attitudes are formed effective stage, which will need to be behavior cognitive stage where you act. Like this stage, the 6th cognitive behavior stage, it make you to learn the make you to learn or make you to purchase the thing or make a decision. Or then again, if we see that the information about the product easy to find, so the third stage where they take you again and again is liking. Ensure that the customer like your product, if not understand why and fix the issue why he don't like. But they, on the critical prospects of that, they don't think about you, that whether you need their services or not, just focusing on like or dislike. So as a human, it's the human nature that human like those product which he or she don't have, or it's beautiful, or the color also, those all things attracts you again and again. So these are the things or the prospects which you have to think and act on, or critical thinking on the issues. So what is cognitive awareness of purchase? We have discussed this issue in very detail. So we can conclude that the cognitive action is a conviction of purchase, or cognitive stages focus on make you focus on action. It is when a company try to make a potential customer to act. So pay attention on that. When a company make mean majboor karna. When I was in England, I was telling my boss that I make him to do that. He stopped me there and say, listen Amer, in English when you say make, that mean you are doing forcefully things. So do not use that word make when you are not doing the forceful thing. When use that, you make him to ride driving, you make him to make the food, but you don't say. So they make mean the potential customer ko majboor karna to act on the information they have learned. They have wanted to learn you and play with your emotions and connection they have formed with a brand by a comply to purchase. So this is the critical prospect of cognitive awareness of purchase. And what actually cognitive of purchase is, to make the consumer focus on the actions, make him like, and action bring him to the action in the action to purchase. So this is the cognitive purchase. So when the cognitive purchases occurs, there is another thing which occurs in the human mind or the human nature, which is called cognitive dissonances. So cognitive dissonances is the tension arise between the person attitude or belief and the decision that they make. These pre-existing modes of thinking, the physiological phenomena also occur when a person chooses between two equal alternatives or quality. So this is dissonance. And there are a dissonance of which we call is the post-purchase dissonance and pre-purchase dissonances. So post-purchase dissonance is the phase where a consumer gave to a state of uneasy which exists in the consumer mind after buying. Oh, may I bought that, I gave it too much money. And this is also happen when the involvement of the product is high, purchases is high price car, fridge, AC, house, plot, all those things. When this happen, oh, it may be cheaper than that. मतलब यहाँ पे कंज्यूमर सोचता है कि यार मैंने तो इसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे दे दिए, मुझे तो ये सस्ता भी मिल सकता था, ये प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस दूसरी कंपनी तो इससे आधे पैसों में प्रोवाइड कर सकती थी. So this is the post-purchase cognitive dissonances. So like a car, if you think you paid too much for that. So this is the post-purchase. So if we conclude that the dissonance basically is the conflicts between the advertiser and the purchaser, mean consumer, and then normally occurs when there is uncomfortable feeling between these two. So this leads the buyer that think about their money that they can spend elsewhere or experience grievance or sad about the purchases. So pre-purchase and post-purchase, as we discussed, that this is the behavior of advertising and this is the behavior of the consumer between the advertisers and the consumer decision making involves. So continuous flow of interaction between environment factors and behavior action. So this process, the post and pre-purchase, the cognitive process involves in the pre-purchase information where consumer or the customer search for the product, alternative for the product, prices of the product, different prices in the states, like what is the price in NWFP, what is the price in Punjab, what is the price in southern Punjab, northern Punjab. So consumer search, and then the post purchases outcomes occur. This is the human behavior. So as we discussed, the post purchase dissonance is the external pursuance or the feeling of the customer while including the purchase of a specific product. And then the cognitive dissonance. So there are a few things which is need to be understand that why this cognitive dissonance occurs is force, compliances, behavior, decision making effects when they make you to do things, and engaging in new information, change and dissonance believing, all those factors in fact affect that the cognitive purchases or the behavior. So this in the dissonance phase, we give the state of unconscious uneasy tension or exist in the consumer mind after buying the service. And as we discussed the post and the pre-purchases. So the post-purchases, after purchase and pre-purchase dissonance is dissonance is that when a product dissatisfies you before you purchase it. So it is realized that a better vision of is under work, and still you purchase the product. If you are, this is the critical, you can raise a question on there, that why, if I am still dissatisfied, so why I would buy it? I mean, there would be alternatives. There would be expensive or cheaper versions of that one. There will be another thing which solves the purpose of that purchase. Like Kotler says, the buying a drill machine is not a buying a drill machine. Basically, the purpose behind buying a drill machine is buying a hole, so you can dig out what other things is alternative of that. So this is how the advertiser or the organization play with the mind of consumer. So you can see the examples of dissonance in this picture, that how they are dissonance with the post or pre-purchase dishonors. Okay food, safe food, love it, why, kyun. So these are the dissonances which they are gone through. They take the consumer and avoid. There are a few steps which normally the organization. The cognitive dissonance is bad for the companies, so they need to resolve it. So what they do to resolve it, there are two prospects again in the same. They look into the consumer behavior, and they try to change the attitudes and behavior, beliefs, and so on, to make the relationship between the two elements or the two sides, the advertiser and the consumer, or the company and the brand lover, or whatever you say it. So there again they work on the behavior and beliefs to change that and resolve the dishonest, the pre-purchase or the post-purchase dishonest. Then they send new information that outweighs the dissonance belief. If they find you that you don't like the Coke because of the taste, or because of the culture, or because of the religion issues, so they send the new information that how it is basically related with Islam or Christianity or Judaism, or your culture, in Pashtun culture or Punjab culture or Urdu speaking culture or Indian culture. So they send regular information and play with the behavior of the human, which is natural. And then what they try, and the other thing which I personally think is the worst, they try to reduce the importance of your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitude. They will advertise in a way that your belief will be, say, if you say, oh, the children should not be drinking fizzy drinks, so that's a cognitive effect, that's your feel, and that feel act on your purchase. So they will try to resolve that. It is good. Let's suppose they will be advertised that it has a highly sugar drink, for example, and they increase the performance of the children. So that's how they resolve. So three things they do: change, acquire new information, and reduce the importance of the cognition. Push and pull strategies. So it's again related with the cognition of the effect, that what you feel, believe, or what is your attitude or attributes towards the product, liking, disliking, and feelings. So converting those things, your feelings, into the benefit of the company use 2-3 different advertising strategies, which is pull marketing, push marketing, or pull and push communication strategies, or the factors which affect on this. So initially, why the question arises that why companies use push marketing and why companies use pull marketing. So the pull marketing initially help them to create the demand in the market, and pull marketing offers a different way to use the way of advertising, or the issues to how to satisfy the consumer's need. So The use of remarketing helps remain prospects of their interest and throughout the throughout the market. And then the push pull marketing, push marketing and pull marketing offer the way. So the pull marketing make aware. It's again your cognitive effect with the organization as a two-way communication with those models. So this is the new phenomena, that there should be two-way of communication. And then the pull marketing offers you, make you aware of the product, make relations with you, that you are brand loyal. It does not. So the question of the critical prospects again rise here, that why I would be, if you say that there is research papers on that the brand has the same attributes as a human, it like, dislike, the things like that. So why I would be loyal with the brand? Why not the organization is loyal with me and make the price reduce or make it good as it I want. If you are loyal with the brand Nike, so you go and buy in Pakistan, I think it's more than 7 to 10,000 rupees a pair of Nike. So it's very, very expensive. So if you loyal with the brand, why not brand is loyal with you? This is the another prospect of that. So push and pull strategies is explained. Push marketing create demands, and pull marketing make you aware or satisfy your needs in the market. So which strategy is better? Is push better or pull better? So the visibility or the vision of better is that the object cannot be over top of us. That's better. So pulling an object can be easier because we can lift a part of it or make grounds or to reduce forces to again on the friction of these grounds. So this is why the push and the pull strategy is good or bad or better, and why it is. So looking into the push and the pull strategies and how they do and how they act and which is better or not, then another view of the integrated marketing communication regarding push and pull appear in the marketplace. Integrated market communication in push and pull in a marketplace. So Philip Kitchen is a researcher. He thinks that it is important in to communicate with the integrated marketing communication concept with the pull and the push strategies in the current financial crisis. So there are different questions arise. What about IMC is in this context? Is IMC overhyped, mean as Corona is overhyped, or does it provide genuinely new approaches? These are the two questions. Does push and pull strategies provide the new approaches, or IMC is overhyped, mean it is not that effective as it is pretended? So then the another view of this is, which is critical, that IMC need to be reset, mean does it is okay in its personal or its present position, or it's need to be set new formulation or new format or new things in this. So this is the critical view. A question has been arised on the actual present view of so in the last assignment, I don't remember, that was IMC class or strategic management, that I gave them that the does advertising need to be reset, mean rethought. That is also a critical prospect on that one. So integrated marketing communication provides the base for integrated marketing itself. The answer for the upper two questions are that, and today the market place has changed. consumer have changed. That's how the organization think. Media system have been changed and marketing organization have changed themselves according to their needs. And then the answer for the third question, they redevelop IMC for the new interactive push and pull market, which is the combination of using of those strategy. First phase push, second phase pull. So they combine those strategy. Will go through that phase as well. So the next thing that we need a brief definition about the what is marketing communication, push and pull marketing communication strategies. As we discuss, or what is push and pull marketing advertising, or what does derive from it. So the push and pull strategy, basically the focus on the consumer rather than the member of the marketing channels, and flow of goods or services from manufacturer to the end users. That is a push and pull strategy. So does a push and a pull strategy have any effect in the advertising? So push advertising try to push products towards the consumer using big ads and attention grabbing claims to put products into the mind of the consumer. Or another way, the pull advertising targets the right consumer at the right time and pull them towards the product. So the question of the previous assignment was that, is push and pull advertising give you the knowledge or make you the shopper? That was the question of the. So you have to write over those things, give your view on those in a particular industry, a particular product, or narrow it down to anything. Then what is the difference between those marketing strategies than the question arise? The difference between those is, one is flowing from the manufacturer towards the consumer, and the other one is pushing from the consumer to the manufacturer. So through the advertising, they make you to ask for the product, make a demand for the product, and then with the advertising they make you to come to the retailer, and retailer will tell you what is happening. So these are the two strategies of the push. So what is the approaches of push and what is the approaches of pull, or what is the services? As we discussed, one is from the manufacturer to the consumer, and one is from the consumer to the manufacturer. So the pull marketing takes an opposite approach. The goal of pulling is to get the customer to come to you. That's why they pull the term pull. That's why the term pull is to where the marketeer are attempting to pull the consumer in the common sales tactics used for pull marketing, including mass media, promotion, word of mouth. There are common examples when you see and go on the internet or the advertising. There would be a famous personality telling you, oh, I have used and I have relaxed with this and that. So this is the word of mouth, and then the promotion on that, trade promotion. We'll give you an example of Coke in this contest. And then they advertise sales promotion from a business prospect, not the prospect of consumer. So this is another critical prospect on that. Either businesses is looking on the in the benefit of the consumer or the benefit of the businesses. So there are clear answer for that. So when you go through and think that critical aspects of that, you will realize pull marketing normally attempts to create brand loyalty and keep consumer coming back, where push marketing is more concerned with the short-term sales. So there is another question arise, a critical thinking, pull marketing, that its attempt to create brand loyalty. But does the brand or the organization have any loyalty with the consumer? They will say we have a loyalty, that we care about you, but actually it's not. And then keep consumer coming back. So this is another why. Why should I go and back if I am satisfied with the product or I have a cheaper alternative? These advertising in these contexts is that if you have a cheaper good version, so they will not direct you, they will come ask you to come back to us, which is again a critical prospect on the consumers. So this is the push marketing strategy. Businesses generally use this pull marketing when the consumer know what actually they are looking for or what the problem they need to solve. I gave you again an example of drill machine. So your problem is digging a hole up, putting a cabinet on the wall or a picture on the wall, or passing the wires through the wall. So the problem, you have to buy a wall, the hole. So for that you need a drill machine, and that need pull you towards the solution of the opposite to the solution offered to by the competitors. So this is push and pull marketing. The good example say that you can recognize pull marketing campaign by the amount of advertising that's being used. Pull marketing requires a lot of advertising dollars to spend on making brand and products a household name. One example includes the marketing children toys. In the first stage, the company advertised the product. Next, the children and the parents see the advertising and want to purchase the toy. As demand arises, retailers begin scrambling, trying to stock the product in their stores. The company has successfully pulled consumer to them. So think of the critical prospect of pulling it in. So selecting the selecting the most effective strategy, it is important for the organization point of view that they need to select the. So that was pull marketing. Push marketing is the marketing or the promotional strategy of the organization, that they try to take the products to the consumer. The term push is a clear idea that marketers are attempting or trying to push their products towards you or as a consumer to you. Common sales tactics in these strategies include trying to sell the product directly to the consumer, company showrooms. There is I have an experience with this, that there is a lot of company. There is basically an area where I was living for around 15 or 18 miles away from the city, and there was a shopping stadium or arena or whatever you say. There was company outlets, Mark and Spencer's, H&M, and all those things, and the product which you buy directly in the consumer, that was 10 to 15 or 20% cheaper, because they were not using the distribution channels there. So they have the company sell the merchandise product directly to the consumer or the company showroom, and negotiation with the retailers to sell their product for them. This is another tactic. We commonly use that tactic in the pharma products as well. So set up point of sales display. Often these retailers will receive special sales incentives in exchange of the increased visibility. So when in this this strategy, we normally go and offer the retailer. I will give you an example from the pharma side. That let's suppose if it's a general product, for example calcium. So there are a lot of calciums available in the market, Colsan, this, and on the different prices. So normally in the pharma product, the prices are averagely equal. If the one product price is 100 rupees, though maybe the one other one is 99, 101, 105. So the prices go between, but the product cost is very less. So normally the person or the salesperson go and ask the retailer that we will give you 20 or 30% extra if you sell our product. So the retailer will be negotiating or pulling the products, pushing the products toward you. This is better. Kalsan, oh, it's charge high. This is a good company and low price and all those things, and it will make you to purchase. So in the push marketing, the merchant, the manufacturers communicate with you through the retailer or their distribution channel. The businesses use the marketing when launch a new product or when trying to stand out in the niche or crowded market. So one common example, as I gave you the pharma one, and the one other common is the departmental stores. In Pakistan, there are the concept of departmental stores is in the big cities, but not in the small cities. And then these departmental stores are not that big that they can provide or produce each and every product of themselves as well. If they are selling diapers for other, so maybe they are selling, let's suppose it's a Hypermal. So Hypermal will be selling Hypermal diapers. It is their own brand. So this is very common in Europe and America, England, those sides. So when they display all the perfumes in the departmental store, the manufacturer or the store's own perfume will be on the separate line on the other hand or opposite to that perfume, and offering you a big sale in incentive of the departmental. So this is pushing a product towards the consumer. So the tactics can be especially beneficial for new brands and aren't well established for new lines when it given a brand that need additional promotion. So this was push and pull marketing and why they was using and what was and the good example of that. So selecting the most effective strategy to engage or convert prospect consumer, perhaps the most important decision in the company or organization. Whether to use push strategy, whether to use pull strategy. The push strategy is the older phenomena, better known to be two basic marketing methods. This approach encompass most of the traditional mass media advertising. Push marketing, on the other hand, is more alleged or newer model that relies on the consumer choice in delivery, seeking out information and products. So there is another critical aspect of that. I want you guys who is listening that what is the pull marketing critical point with which I have explained that this model is looking into consumer choice, a delivery choice, information choice, and the product choice, and home deliveries. All these things is pull marketing. So making relationship. So find out the critical point in the pull marketing and write it down and email me. A pull strategy focuses on maintaining presence across the number of information channels. Online consumer are likely to solve their problem tactically. Typically, pull channel strategies include ranking, revelation, content in research engine, and all those things they put in the research engine. When you start searching for that, those products appear. So this is another critical point on that one, that how the search engine will. So you will raise the question on that. Now which approach is the best for the company? Blending push and pull. So this is a new phenomena. We'll go and discuss this now. Then deciding on this one, which combination or which strategy is good for the. So there is a new phenomena on the market that they have rethought that whether using a strategy alone, it's better to use both strategies in combination. The purpose of the both strategy is push or pull is to derive sales growth. The major commercial insurance company uses push marketing to create awareness in a new or existing product and then target banner ads to pull in consumer when they search online for more information on the product. Similarly, the pizza restaurant may use newspaper ads to pull in consumer and fillers to push information about menus directly into the consumer mailboxes. Search engines. This is a combination of the pull and the push strategy. So which approach is better? Blending push and pull. Now the resources permitting a combination of the push and the pull marketing is optimal approach for many businesses. Research has shown that blending push and pull strategies can result in increased return of investment, in some cases by much as 20%. So that means when the company use this push and pull as a blend or combination, so their sales might increase up to 20%. Then another critical prospect arrived that think and tell me. A push strategy will help establish brand awareness among those consumers who have never heard of you, while pull marketing will help you to attract the attention of those prospects who are actively researching the solution over the internet or problem finder. So you are problem through different media. So which companies normally use this push and pull strategies? I'll give you a few examples to have a good understanding of that. This is Nike. Nike's marketing is a pull of push and pull techniques that are used to consumer. Push and pull techniques a great way to engage consumer in two different angles and get them interested in the brand. This is the main purpose of that. They push you to the product and then they pull you towards first they push the product toward you and then they pull you towards the product, and this technique make you more interested in buying the particular product.